Imagine spending 10 years building a reputation, only to be rejected because you don't know the gear. It just happened in Canada, where 89% of elite language and legal professionals failed a high-stakes parliamentary test. Their mistake? They brought a 20th century brain to a 21st century network. It wasn't about their linguistic capability, it was about their failure to adapt to technology. Advocate Ravi Kumar introduces the actor network theory. This isn't just academic talk, it's a survival framework that proves that in a modern legal system, the machine is your equal partner. If you minus the AI from your process, your entire system will collapse. The industry wants quick, turnkey solutions, and those who aren't tech-equipped are falling into professional depression because they cannot compete. They spend 3, 5, or 10 years training, only to find they are poor and jobless because they ignored the machine. Don't be part of the 89%. Instead of collapsing, it is time to make friendship with these tools. You need to learn how to ride the machine so it doesn't ride you. We are shifting from the manual era to a volume game where efficiency is king. Let's bridge the gap between the classroom and the brutal reality of the 2026 market.
But my friends, these were all tools which were not automated. It needed human intervention. It needed a platform. It needed fan followers. It needed millions of people helping you out. But all these things are slowly fading away. I will not say they are wiped out, but they are slowly fading away. Those who adopt to technology, they will survive. And those who do not, they will be wiped out, my friends. And that is now invention of GPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, Cloud, and thousands of customized AI translation tools, tools for content writing, tools for YouTube video editing, tools for generating images, tool for generating concepts, tool for generating mind maps, tool for generating your thumbnails. I will show you, a tool. I have used it even in this PPT. I have used some tool that you will realize just in next slide. So my friends, the shift I was talking to you has been massive, from manual to machine to memory, from memory to hybrid, from hybrid to MOC, massive online cooperation, collaborative translation, peer review translation. All these things are happening parallelly, and while all these things were happening successfully, a wave of opportunities have come in name of AI. But apart from opportunities, there are very negative points that AI is coming with. I will discuss it in next few minutes. So now let's see how this new technology is happening, is affecting our life. As I told you, people need speed. They don't need only internet speed. They need information at a speed. Things, let's say, happening in Middle East currently, war zone. Communication is done in Arabic, but whole world wants to understand this. So there must be someone sitting somewhere transferring the information about what is going on across the globe. And that is use of these translation tools. And certainly AI is helping a lot now. But my friends, there is a trend that is saying, research has shown that in last 2-3 years, there has been decrease in use of traditional methods of translation by 2% decrease. So it's minus 2%. Whereas there is tremendous increase in use or demand for language technology by 12%. Okay. See, and this has impacted slowly. It is impacted, the morale of language people, whether it is translator, whether it is interpreter. They are perplexed. They are surprised. They are not able to understand what to do and what not to do in this current crisis, which is AI. And the problem is there is a gap. There is industry. There is class that is working in that industry. And there are institutions where teaching is done. So teaching institutions have not yet visualized the problem which is coming to their students and to their own profession. In fact, if you don't have students for languages, your faculty will close. So it is now imperative for language people as well as people who provide those training in translation or interpretation or technology training. And of course, the industry wants quick solution. So those students who are equipped with these technologies, they integrate fast in the industry. But those who don't, they are wiped out or they suffer. They go into depression because they spend too much time, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and at the end they are poor. They are not getting jobs. So that gap has to be bridged. Why I'm telling you this? Because recently I'm giving you example from Canada. There, people appear for interpretation jobs in parliament. 11% people only got selected as an interpreter. 89% were rejected, after being trained. Why? Because of the gaps. It is not only, the linguistic capabilities that matters now. It is also the technology to which you use and adapt quickly. If you fail, you are gone. So the role of humans as well as technology together, which Bruno Latour has given long back, a theory called action network theory or actor network theory, ANT theory we call. Go through that. You will realize that machines are equally important in a system, just like humans. And if you minus that, your system will collapse. You will not be able to move at all. So instead of collapsing and getting into depression mode, it is better to do friendship with them and make use of them. You ride on them rather they riding you. That's the concept I want to focus on. So now the role, what is happening with the linguist? Their role is changing. How this role is changing? It's correlate with the activities that I just explained it to you before. How in 1990 era manual thing was there, and then we came into machine, then we came into memory, then we came into hybrid, and then post editing, etc. Now let's see the evolution, how it is taking place. What are the activities in language industry? Traditionally, what we had when we were using only human model, we had translation as 48%, we had interpretation at 9%, language training, language school 16%, technology and research 7%, management related thing when languages were used, including, UN interpreting or communication or international communication. There was a, corporate communication department, all these 10%. I had given you a data that relates 2010 till this time. I will say we still were manual or human model. But when we started using CAT tools, Google and memory tools, the activities expanded, but the percentage also had varied. For example, translation was no more only human translation. It had human plus TM, right? Which is 45%. There is a decrease there. 3% has gone down. Interpretation on site has increased by 18%. And of course, telephone or online interpreting has also increased now. Then came search engine optimization because digital marketing took over. People wanted to expand. People wanted to reach out. Social media came into picture. So you were not rather doing direct marketing of your product to people, calling them, we call it direct marketing. Now, indirect marketing started coming. Means you are doing everything. You don't go to people, people come to you. And that they come only when you do SEO of your content, SEO your product. And there was some technique being used, deployed to attract visitors to your website. That is what is SEO. And in that, language was used, translation was used because you wanted to cater to the global market. So you could create content in French, you could create content in Spanish, Arabic, or any regional language you want. And search engines could give you better results, bring you in the top 10 list or top 20 list, or top 1 number. Many times you have to spend to get into that system and reach the top. The more top you are, the more better you get results. Similarly, the consumption in DTP, like using PDF, using Acrobat, using Photoshop, using CDR files, brochure and booklets were published in multiple languages. So DTP came into picture. Then there came content resource management, CRM. You are working on inside a CRM, creating contents, and backend the industry is being shown look and feel, we call UX design and all, and then research certainly has increased into machine translation tool or research. And that's how this LLM came into picture. It is we, language people, who have helped development of these LLMs. And we have created those LLMs in a way. And we cannot be threatened by our own, creation. We are humans. So we have to be smart enough. Certainly that LLM is a collaborative work, but we as humans still have liberty to become smarter and make use of these LLMs, which is now AI, and still create a hybrid ecosystem, because whether it is online interpretation through AI or whether it is translation through AI, still you need your human intervention, because if you don't vet that, you are at the risk. Recently what this AI is doing is a big danger. AI does hallucinations. AI even at times changes, names of people. So if you blindly depend on AI when it translates, it fills those gaps which are not there in your content. They at times add some information. They at times delete those information, or at times change the facts totally. So there comes, the human intervention. And if you learn the technique of using this AI exact platform, you can do wonders. So content that we were producing, let's say 10 pages earlier, we started producing 20 pages. Now AI, with the help of AI, you can use 100 or 200, 300 pages in a day. So volume has increased. Why volume has increased? So we play on volume. We do not play on rates. Earlier we were taught to fix rates. Look for you create your benchmark. You don't go below that. If you remain on that benchmark, you are wiped out, my friends. So now the benchmark is deliver more at low cost. And the more you deliver, the more you earn. Why? Because AI is there to help you. It is no more, that traditional thing which is working. And if you are living in illusion, my friends, I'm telling you, you will be wiped out as a translator or an interpreter. So the volume game is there. Certainly, there are some premium people who have already created benchmark, including in law. There are some lawyers who charge millions of dollars, for a single appearance. But that is not happening. That is not a norm. The norm is you have to play with volume now. And that volume game comes through AI. So this is, the role that is expanding, my friend. Just imagine from these four to now, what is now the most recent one? Activities. And what is hybrid translation? Interpretation, again hybrid mode. Again AI, platform licensing. DTP, certainly document design is there. MT integral research has increased from 12% to 17%. And the most important increase is AI solution architecture. What is this architecture? Now people want a package. They don't want translation, because system has evolved. Everybody is working on some other architecture, So you learn to make use of those architecture and provide full solution. For example, a full website, let's say in English, French, German, full app, English, everything in one particular language, just ready to, click. We call it turnkey projects. So it is rising like anything, my friend. And for that, we need to learn some important points that I will cover in the next slide. And that is, we need to develop our ecosystem. And that ecosystem can be, I have just given you a broadly, certainly this image has been created by AI. And I just put them, they don't, I want this I give them a prompt telling that I want to cover these points in a figure, in a representation, so that one understands it well. So we have translation and localization. We have technology integration in number 2. Then we have quality control. Then we have project workflow. Then we have communication and delivery with the client. And in overall, you need to have a feedback mechanism to improve whatever you deliver to the client. So this, if you are able to develop this basic framework, including content input, localization, technology integration, AI integration, quality control, workflow, client communication, feedback mechanism, you have created a process. You have created an architecture of your own self.
Share your thoughts below, hype the video, and subscribe to Kanoonplus. Hope to see you again in the next video.